Hey everyone, this is Rick from rickswrestlingblog.com. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about Battleground. It's over with. That was last night. Actually turned out to be not a bad pay-per-view. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about it a little bit. Very first match of the night is our pre-show match, Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Sandow. Well, first of all, I don't really understand why Damien and Ziggler are both in the pre-show. They should have been in the actual show itself. I think this is a way of WWE enticing you, thinking, hey, Damien's got the briefcase. He may decide to cash it in at the pay-per-view. So, buy the pay-per-view. Check it out. So, anyway, it was a pretty decent match. Nothing special there, really. Ziggler came away with the victory on that one. So, as we go on, let's see. I want to try to take these in order the way they happened. So, the very first match as the pay-per-view went live, Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam for the World Championship. And I was really thinking that Ricardo will finally do something to possibly backstab Van Dam and possibly go back with Alberto, but none of it happened. Actually, it was a decent match. It honestly was hyped up to be with all this, these rules with, extreme rules and these chairs and cans and all that stuff. And, it was a decent match. That's it. At the end of the day, Alberto Del Rio won with the arm lock, the arm bar, and he actually made RVD submit. And Ricardo got involved a little bit, but Del Rio pretty much laid him out, and that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing really happened in the match. I don't know. It was just a match, I guess, just a match. Nothing special. Third match of the night. Well, here's one that was unannounced. The Real Americans to take on the Great Khali and Santino Marella. I don't ever want to pay for a pay-per-view where Khali and Santino Marella are on that pay-per-view. I just got to be honest. I mean, I don't find them entertaining whatsoever. But I tell you what, I've liked the Real Americans individually and as a tag team. I like them. I wish they would do more with them. And I tell you what, though, this was I think an opportunity to show how Cesaro's been doing these spins with all these big wrestlers around the ring, and that was the big deal because the fans are really get into it now. And he did it. He did it to Khali. He spun him around, dropped Khali, and then actually pinned him. And the most hilarious part of this whole thing is that if you actually watch that pay-per-view and maybe rewind a little bit and just watch it slowly again, you can actually see Khali counting with the referee. That referee's coming 1, 2, 3, and here comes Khali. He's counting with him. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it was the most hilarious thing. We had to rewind that to watch it a couple times just because it was just really odd to see that he counted with the ref. But anyway, overall, it was a decent match, and the Real Americans won, which I was happy about because I was getting a little nervous, thinking Santino's on a roll. They may give him this victory, and I'm glad that they didn't. All right, number 4, Curtis Axel defending against R-Truth. Well, I'll tell you what. This match made no sense to me anyway. Here's the match right here. I'd rather have seen Dolph Ziggler and Damien Sandow on the pay-per-view instead of R-Truth going for the title. There was nothing exciting about this match whatsoever. Axel won, beat him, and he better have. I mean, here's Axel. They're not really giving him any true challenges, and everybody that seems to be a contender against him is always a mid-carder or even below. But Axel won, and let's see, number 5. AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. This actually was a very good match. I was happy about this match. Brie brought it. I mean, she brought it. AJ did really. AJ knows how to sell. I tell you, she was very entertaining in that match. At the end of the night, Tamina got involved and was choking out Nikki Bella, which got Brie's attention, and that's when AJ got to roll her up, and AJ got the victory. But Brie made a good showing for herself. She did really well. So I was actually happy with this match. It was better than many of the ones we've been seeing lately. Alright, so that was the 5th match. So the 6th match happened to be the Rhodes brothers versus The Shield. To me, this was gonna be the match of the night anyway. I was really against buying this pay-per-view, but when they made this match, to me, this was the one that I really wanted to see. I really had to see because I thought that this was going to be exciting. You got guys that can wrestle because Dustin Dustin Rhodes, let's call him by his wrestling name, Dustin Rhodes and Cody Rhodes. These guys, they can wrestle, but then so can the Shield. So this turned out to be a really good match. It was exciting. It was kind of back and forth. Even Dusty got a little bit involved. We got to see the bionic elbow on the outside of the ring on Dean Ambrose. And just when you thought that Roman Reigns was about to come spear Dusty, here comes Goldust, who spears him. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily a spear, but he tackles him on the outside of the ring, and then Rhodes got his move on there, and actually Cody and actually got the pin, and it was exciting. I mean, the fans were cheering. Even people from the locker room started coming out as they were walking up. They came out and were congratulating everybody. But we'll see what happens on Raw tonight because supposedly they got their jobs back. So let's see. But to me, this was the match of the night. It was fun. It was exciting. I would love to see it again. I'm gonna take a stab at it and say that hopefully the next match is gonna be them against the Shield, but for the titles this time at Hell in the Cell, which is the next pay-per-view coming up. So, props on that one. That was really good. Number 7, Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. Another match. I don't understand why we have to pay $50 for a pay-per-view to watch Kofi wrestle. And I want to see Bray Wyatt, but I don't want to see him against someone like a Kofi. I don't want to see him against R-Truth. I don't want to see him against a jobber whatsoever. I want to see him at the top wrestling some top people, or at least the Wyatt family contending against other top people, but not they just didn't belong in this pay-per-view. So I should say Kofi didn't belong. All right, that was the 7th match. So let's see, the 8th. All right, CM Punk versus Ryback turned out to be a pretty decent match. It wasn't too bad at all. Here comes Paul Heyman distracting CM Punk, distracting him by grabbing the microphone because CM Punk was about to get ready to go to sleep to Ryback. But here comes Paul Heyman grabbing the microphone saying, "Let me introduce myself. I am the best in the world." And of course CM Punk is distracted, and here comes Ryback. But before you know it, the referee got distracted by Heyman, and actually CM Punk gave Ryback a cheap shot and actually got the pin on him. So he actually pins him. So CM Punk, you're a winner. It was a pretty decent match though. And of course, the last match of the night, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. It was a good match. Good match from start, middle, horrible ending. Horrible ending. I cannot believe it ended that way. I mean, no winner, no champion. We have I guess you can kind of say it a double count out or something. I don't even know. Because here comes Big Show. He knocks out Daniel Bryan. So everybody's booing him and this and that. But then he knocks out Randy Orton. And then leaves them both laying. He's in the ring. He's screaming and chanting, but what's going on? There's no winner. The match is actually over. They ended it just like that. And, that was pretty disappointing. That's 2 pay-per-views in a row where the WWE did something with the main event that was pretty disappointing. Because even though Daniel Bryan won it last time, they took it away from him the very next night on Monday Night Raw. And then this pay-per-view, really Daniel Bryan should have won it again. Or at least give it to Randy Orton. Let him win. But they decided, nah, they're going to hold it up a little longer. Maybe what they're going to do is set it up so that we can watch these guys wrestle for a third time, a third pay-per-view in a row at Hell in the Cell. So, hey, I was pretty disappointed about that. But overall, the pay-per-view actually turned out to be pretty decent. I guess if I was to think about it and say, would I pay for this knowing everything that I know about it? No, probably wouldn't pay for it because I don't like matches when they end that way. So, but in the meantime, we bought it, we got it, we saw it, we still had a nice time with it. Hell in the Cell is coming up. We got 3 weeks away. What are they going to build up in 3 weeks to give us this pay-per-view? Because you got 2 pay-per-views this month, so we'll see what happens. No other special surprises on the pay-per-view. So that's it. All right. So we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks a lot.